All right. By force or free will? That is what we are up against in this election. If we elect the Democrats, it's going to be by force. They're going to force their ideas, ideals, their whatever it is they want us to do on us. It's going to be like we're all going to live on a plantation. They're going to force us to do, and they take the money. But let's start with this. Let's begin at the beginning. In 1618, now this was going around a few weeks ago, some 1618 deal, all right? And they had it wrong, okay? In 1618, this was not America, okay? It was a colony that was owned by England. And it was the King of England in 1618 that had slaves brought in to this continent. And it wasn't the U.S. yet. Remember that. And slavery was okay back then, according to the king. And it was whatever the king wanted, the king got, because he's the king. Now, in 1860, around there, President Abraham Lincoln decided we're not going to have slaves. That's wrong. All men are created equal, and they have an equal right to equal work for equal pay. And so the Civil War was fought and won. But before that, in 1776, the Revolutionary War was, I believe, being fought, and the Declaration of Independence from England, who was the ones that brought the slaves over in the first place, was over. Now, the whole country got our independence from England. Not just the whites, not just the indigenous, not the Chinese, not the Mexicans, everyone got their freedom from England during the Revolutionary War after we won it. Okay? Now, you can't expect things to just change overnight like that. It took a while, but eventually, uh, common sense made it to Abraham Lincoln, and he said, "Look, we can't have this. It's completely wrong, especially in the South." Now, when I think about the slavery in this country, I don't think that every last slave was beaten or raped or tortured or whatever. I'm sure that there were ones in, say, Washington, D.C., New York City, around there, that the slave masters, the owners, would dress them well, would feed them well, would house them well, so that they could be seen as humane, not animalistic like the slave owners in the South, which were mostly Democrats. Okay? Are we getting the picture here? So it's the Democrats that were fighting against the Republicans to keep their slaves. And if you look at today, what's going on today? The Democrat run cities and states in this country are losing grip. There's violence, riots, burning, looting, you name it. But it's in Democrat cities and states. Why? Well, it's par for the course. It's normal for a Democrat to want violence, force. They forced slavery. They forced the slaves to do whatever they wanted them to. Why would it change? Why would the Democrat mantra change? Because time has gone by. Only now the Democrats don't want to enslave the blacks. They've already got them enslaved. They're on welfare, living in the inner cities, killing each other with drugs, weapons, whatever they can find. Are the Democrats saying anything about all this violence? No. Why not? They want that. They want to point at Donald Trump and say, oh, well, President Trump, look what he did to the country. He divided it. No. You see, the Republicans don't want force. We want free will. The free will to be responsible for ourselves, our families, our safety, to pay the bills, to raise the children. Free, not enslaved, not like the Democrats want. And that's what they're showing. And it's exactly what they're showing. If you look at the Democrat campaign with Joe Biden's in no condition to run a country. I don't even think he can run his own household. And now they got Kamala Harris. And they're saying, oh, well, she's black. No, she's not. She's Jamaican and Asian Indian, real Indian. The ones that live here are Native Americans, not Indians. Indians come from India. But anyway, her ancestry goes back to one of the biggest slave owners in Jamaica. Are you getting the picture? I'm trying to paint you a picture that the Democrats, they don't care. As long as they can force you to do what they want you to do. They want slavery. They want you to go to work. They're talking about equal pay. They want equality in pay. No, they don't. They want to take everybody's money and say, you can only have this much because that's enough to keep you alive. And if you're alive, you can work more, make more money for us to spend. Look, this healthcare deal ain't going to happen. Somebody's got to pay for it. They go to a one-payer healthcare system like in Canada. Bye. See you, doc. See you, nurses. Go do something else. They want free education. Who's going to pay for it? Nobody. And what's a free education going to do for you if you go get a higher education, you get a degree, you get a job, and then the government takes all your money? Boy, that was a brilliant idea, wasn't it? Let's do that. And you've got these mayors and governors that, oh yeah, there's violence. No. There's no violence. It's a myth. It's all mythical. It's all unicorns and rainbows everywhere you go. There's no. They're protesting. They don't like something. I watched the most ridiculously stupid thing any human being could ever do. If you look it up on YouTube, you'll find Antifa, okay? These idiots go to Sturgis during Bike Week. Okay? These aren't kindergartners at Sturgis. These are Hell's Angels. These are outlaws. These are the Brotherhood. These are bike gangs. Okay, we're not going to go sing Kumbaya and sit around a campfire making s'mores. And one of these idiots kicked a Harley. Okay, he's lucky he walked away from that. because they had cops surrounding these idiots, or else they would have been pummeled to death. I guarantee you, there would have been blood all over the place. Because there are thousands of bikers lining the sidewalks while these idiots were standing in the middle of the street, surrounded by police officers. And they say that it's the white supremacists that we want the violence. We want the violence. I didn't see a biker lift a hand. And they wouldn't. And not because the police were there, but because they respect life. Even though the biker gangs aren't exactly the friendliest people in the world, I was in the motorcycle industry for a long time. I met a lot of bikers, a lot of gang bikes, and they were just as friendly as could be. They weren't just going to beat the crap out of you for no reason. But pulling a stupid stunt like taking somebody's Harley, that will get you beat. But it would have only been that one guy. It wouldn't have been the whole group of Antifa that was up there. And that was the stupidest thing I saw. And you could tell the cops that were standing there, they weren't exactly having a joyous time. They were nervous. They were nervous that these idiots would try to pull some stupid stunt. That would have been it. It would have been all over. But that's not what we want. We want to live in peace with a free will. We want to exercise our free will to do as we choose, not as we are forced to do. Yes, there are laws, and there are laws to keep people from hurting each other, killing each other, stealing each other's stuff. And those laws keep people from getting killed, beat to death, or whatever else you want to do to these people. Look, without law, there is no peace. There is no freedom. You can't take law away and say, oh, now you're free. Now you're free. No. And the Democrats want to force you to do everything they want you to do to make them money so they can do with it what they want. Go give it to Iran or Iraq or whoever wants it. Go ahead and build some nuclear devices. Give it to North Korea. He might want some too. He might be low on uranium. Of course, Hillary Clinton sold uranium to the Russians, so we don't have to worry about paying off the Russians. They've already got their uranium. They're idiots. And they're trying to build up the idea that Biden can run the country. They have got to be completely out of their minds. Bill de Blasio killed 11,000 people by putting COVID patients into nursing homes. When President Trump had hospital beds set up all over New York City, I think he had even one of the hospital ships in the harbor. And yet de Blasio said, oh no, just go ahead and stick them in the nursing homes. It'll kill off enough of them. Another, I'll leave it. The people that have businesses that got tore up, bye. The people that are getting taxed into the dirt, bye. Same as California, bye. It's nuts. It really is. And these people can't see. Well, it's okay. No, it's not. You're destroying the people. Not just the property, but the lives of people. Children are getting shot because of you, governors and mayors that are Democrats, don't give a rat's butt about anybody or anything but yourselves and money. So I tell you what, when you vote, You vote Democrat, you vote to be forced into the plantation. Forced labor, and we'll take all your money. You vote for President Trump, you're voting for free will and the ability to practice your free will. I'm William Ferguson. I am a Christian. And I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus at all. He showed us the way because He is the way. He is the truth and the light. Find Him. Live in peace. I thank you for listening. Good day.